When you give someone something for free the first time, it creates appreciation. When you give someone something for free the second time, it creates anticipation. When you give someone something for free the third time, it creates expectation. Fourth time, it creates entitlement. When you give someone something the fifth time, it creates dependency. And you don't give it to them by the sixth time, it creates hatred and resentment. God, yes. And internally, they feel depressed and have anxiety. So let me tell you, ladies, something. Guess where all women are? Because women get attention for free from men. So women are in the entitlement field. That's why all women think that they're 8, 9s, and 10s, because they have this self-entitlement because is in your DMs giving you a bunch of attention.
Now, in general, when it comes to acting entitled, this is something that a lot of men do hate. I can tell you, even me personally, I don't like it either. I am a very generous, willing to give kind of guy. But if I feel like you have this entitled attitude and a very unappreciative attitude, I won't want to give you even $1. Like, that's how I'll give so much. But if you act a certain kind of way, I don't want to give anything. And I know a lot of men feel the exact same way and even more negatively about it. And so some of the ladies out there, it reminds me of, I don't want to speak on her, so let me leave that alone. There was a video on, whatever, we're going to leave that alone. The bottom line is there's a lot of women who the mentality is, well, he's supposed to do that. And I'm the prize.
No matter how much money you make per year, to somebody you are rich, to somebody you are poor, let me unpack this for you, because this could help understand what rich people or successful people fear and what they're allergic to. Let's unpack this. Let's just say you make $500,000 per year. And you go out with your cousin who's making $50,000 per year. To that person, you are super rich, right? Should your cousin automatically expect you to take the bill because you make a lot of money? Should that be fair? Well, that's not cool. I made that money. Why should I have to pay the bill? Well, that person thinks you're rich. But I don't make a lot of money. After $500,000 tax, it's only $250,000 per year. I get it. But to that person, you're very rich. What if you make $500,000 per year and you go out to dinner with your sister and she makes $3 million per year with her business? Should you automatically assume for her to take the bill because she makes more money than you? What if you make $3 million per year, you go out to dinner with your uncle and you take out your family and everybody and your uncle's worth $79 million? Should your uncle automatically be expected to take the bill? At what point does this stop? Let's say I go to dinner with Elon Musk. I have some money, but Elon's got $300 billion. I don't have that kind of money. Should I automatically say, well, Elon, you can buy this restaurant if you wanted to. I'm sure you can afford $2,000. You take the bill. You realize what an entitled mindset that is. You know, if I ever went to dinner with Elon Musk, I would never let him pay for dinner. The only way he paid is because it's the restaurant he goes to and the waitress doesn't take my money. But there is no way in the world my hand doesn't go in my pocket and I don't get up and say, excuse me, I'm going to go to the restroom, and I go give the credit card to that person because I want that relationship. Elon doesn't need this relationship. I'm seeking that relationship. And by the way, this perspective I'm giving to you is with anybody. Sometimes people are seeking these relationships with other people and they're automatically thinking, well, he has money, they should offer. I've never gone out to dinner with anybody that I was seeking to get closer to and expect them to pay the money. That is a entitled mindset to expect people to automatically pay for it. If you want to have good relationships of people with higher identity, more importantly, if you want to have the chance to retain those relationships, you must understand the psychology that you gotta give more to them than they will give to you. Sometimes all I ever want to see as a person that maybe in many cases I'm the one that has more, I just want to see the effort because I'm still gonna want to pay. But I just want to see the effort that you value that. Then I'll come through. But that simple effort of showing and understanding the psychology will keep high identity people in your life. And if you don't do this, trust me, they have plenty of people who want to have that relationship in their lives. And unfortunately, they have leverage because they have worked tireless hours on top of hours behind closed doors to have the leverage of freedom and choice of who to befriend and have relationships with. And that takes years, if not decades, of sacrifice to earn the right to have the moral authority of having that leverage.
Fellas, if she doesn't have this one trait, you have to let it go. If she doesn't have this one trait, nothing else matters. I don't care if she's pretty. I don't care if she's great. It doesn't matter. If she doesn't have this one thing, if she doesn't have gratitude, if she's not grateful for your time, energy, money, effort, when she's not asking, when you're putting in all this, if she's not grateful, it means she's entitled. It means she feels she's entitled. Maybe she's used to it or she expects it to happen. It means she thinks she deserves it. And that right there will lead to a toxic ass relationship. You will never be able to fill those holes. No pun intended. You'll never be able to fill that cup of hers. She'll never be satisfied. I am saving you months, possibly years with this one piece of advice. And that one piece of advice is if she doesn't have gratitude, if she isn't grateful, nothing else matters. Nothing else can be bought. It won't work. So let me save you here. That's the thing you're looking for on date one. If she doesn't express gratitude for the little things, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks. I very much appreciate it. Thank you for taking me out. If she doesn't have that, forget about it, bruv.
Hello, my dear Phoenix friends, and how are each and every one of you all? In today's topic, this is what we're looking at. And the fact that we have to actually listen to people speak about the importance of saying thank you and showing gratitude. And I know this is not just something simple to just say, well, this is an attack on women. This goes across the board for both men and women. It's not just women who show entitlement in relationships, okay? I'm being very real. We see it from men also. But the bottom line is, what are we doing about it? The fact that we have to discuss the importance of saying thank you. And entitlement is a very serious problem we're experiencing in today's relationships. It may have been around for quite some time, but it wasn't so prominent as it is now. And this is something that we all have to review, and we all have to really revise and self-check to understand if we are contributing to either the problem or the solution. What the overall problem is where it is that one person is continuously giving and the other person does not reciprocate. That is what entitlement is. In a case where teamwork being the dream work of a couple, where, both individuals shower each other with love, presence, whatever, they shower each other with positive traits, then, that works. As we delve deeper into our video today, this compilation, we would look at just as what we would have seen was the problem where entitlement stands and what entitlement is. The other aspects we're going to look at are the possible causes of it and the solutions as to how we can overcome it. And not just entitlement, but how can we be better in our relationships in terms of communication, supporting each other, reciprocating genuine emotions and generosity. I would hope indeed that you would enjoy, and please obviously feel free to share your experiences. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's continue.
People aren't going to like this observation, but it has become quite obvious to my perspective and experience that two of the root causes poisoning the dating world today are, number one, the entitlement and unrealistic expectations amongst young women, and two, the lack of leadership and lack of emotional intimacy and literacy amongst young men. It is no coincidence that I find the majority of the people perpetuating this men versus women war all over social media are not coming from a healthy place within themselves. They are coming from low income situations. They're coming from broken family dynamics. People who have been raised as victims to the system, people who have had zero experience with healthy role models or healthy parents or healthy versions of masculinity and leadership, who are still in survival, in scarcity, who place money, status, fame, and what can I get for me conditioned and indoctrinated by media above all else. As I continue to work with people and listen to these conversations happening, it sounds extremely bleak out there. And even though my personal experiences may not relate to some of these levels, as I've done a lot of personal work and I've been relatively blessed overall, frankly, I'm not surprised that a lot of people are just giving up. Look, I advocate for people to go after the things that they want in life, to build themselves up to the best possible versions of themselves, to aim
high. But the truth is, and people have to swallow this, reality is, ladies, if you think that you deserve a man who is 6 feet and 6 figures, you are statistically delusional. And fellas, most of us mistake our need for intimacy, emotional connection, and community with sex and achievement with women. And the catch-22 is most of y'all have no idea how to talk to or treat a woman. There is a lack of leadership amongst men. It's no surprise that a lot of women aren't trying to mess with a lot of y'all and are aiming for that top percentage of men who are providers, protectors, and more successful, as they should. Back on the other hand, you've got a lot of women who aren't looking to be a healthy reciprocating partner, looking to be a good wife and a good mother. They're just looking for a father and a financer, and they've got a hole so big in their heart nobody's ever going to be able to fill all the validation and attention that they need, and you can't save somebody who doesn't want to be saved. What is the solution, TikTok? Because we can go back and forth. Men are like this, women are like this for decades, but that is not going to get us any closer to the solution, because we can only heal together, and I'm still trying to figure out how we do that.
People are always asking me, as a psychologist, where does entitlement come from? Why are people so entitled? And the answer is pretty straightforward and simple. Because when you think about it, as humans, we're always in some kind of a survival stance. And when we feel like we're being threatened or aggrieved in some way, shape, or form, whether that's happening in reality or in our mind, our body activates a fight response. And entitlement is a form of a fight response. It says, you can't do this to me anymore. I'm living from a place of scarcity. I don't have enough. My needs aren't being met. I'm scared. So I'm going to take what I think I'm owed or what I think I deserve to make sure that I can try and survive. The kick in the pants, though, is that it only solves the immediate impulse and doesn't address the underlying fears. So entitlement usually breeds more pain.
Have like entitled feeling people. I want to give you one reason as to why that happens. It's always rooted all in deep psychology. It's called social comparison. Okay. And it's where if you're insecure with yourself, you try to validate yourself by proving more worth and value than somebody else, right? Because then in your mind, well, I'm better than them, right? That's why, right? There's this, it's literally rooted in heavy insecurity. People who feel inadequate, okay, it's proven. People who feel inadequate will often try to make other people feel inferior to them, right? I'm the best. That's right, I'm the best. You better tell me I'm the best. This is how, when that happens for you, don't take that personal. That is their drama. That is their nonsense. Don't play that game. The moment you engage and you, well, blah, 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 you've walked right into the snare. They snared you, they trapped you, and now they're like, see, I win. Let them win. Okay. But this is one of the many reasons as to why people feel entitled, because they are inadequate in many ways. So they want to inflict that. Don't fall victim to that, man. That is all on them.
Hey, babe.
Yeah, baby.
All right. Right out the gate, I just have to say thank you so much for my coffee this morning.
You made me worried saying right out the gate. I'm
like,
what am I in trouble?
Gosh,
We're fighting? Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for having my coffee ready this morning. That was so nice.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah. So you're a men's coach, right? You're working with men. I do want your opinion on something.
Okay.
You know, it's often that you and I do nice things for each other. We serve each other, right?
Sure.
Have you seen where that can go wrong with the men that you work with?
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, tell me about it.
There's a few things it can go into: expectation, entitlement, assumptions. It starts getting into multiple facets. Let's just get into where, when people get used to kindness and then start to think that they are owed kindness. So when you're with somebody who's a giver, whether it's male or female, it doesn't really matter. When you start seeing somebody who's giving, and that person gets used to the behavior where somebody always takes care of things, whether it be cooking, cleaning, buying something, whatever it is. There's some sort of love language that they get very accustomed to. And then if something happens to change, instead of wondering what's wrong or what happened or are you okay, did something go wrong, the entitlement may kick in to go, hey, why didn't you do that? and it turns into demands. It's no longer looking for any type of empathy or understanding. It turns into, since you set the standard that that's what you do, you better do it. That type of behavior starts to chip away at the desire for somebody to want to serve. Because I think it's in people to give.
Yeah.
And I think it feels good when you can help others feel good. And when someone
Absolutely.
starts to unappreciate or have expectation or feel entitled that you better give or you better serve, it starts to kill your relationship hard. And it makes somebody want to pull back because they're not feeling appreciated. And it makes them not want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And so I know that I bought your coffee this morning and then I made you coffee this
So
morning.
glad.
Because I have no expectation. I just like to serve you. But you show me appreciation, and that makes me want to do more. Because you encourage me to want to do more, and that makes me want to. But if you said tomorrow, because I didn't have your coffee set up, where's my damn coffee? It's going to make me less excited to make your coffee.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's where people get, that's one way that people start to ruin good things when it comes to people serving.
Yeah. That's good.
I've seen that one. That's just one. I
All
could
right.
probably do a few of them.
One piece of advice that I would give to all couples is to learn how to have a conversation. And when I say learn how to have a conversation, I always use this model. You have to start where the other person is and slowly walk them home. You can't start with, this is my position, this is my position, this is my position. What you start with is, I understand your position is this, and I get why you feel that way. Here's my problem with it. Can we work to a compromise?